One of the key differences in the life of whales in human care compared to those in the wild is their relationships with humans. From day one for captive-born animals, and from very early age for wild-born animals, humans have been there all the time to tend to all their needs day and night. It is not a secret that toothed whales are very intelligent creatures, on a similar level as elephants and the great apes. Generally, the more intelligent an animal is, the less instinct will matter and the more learning and memory will matter. Unlike many other zoo animals, all their lives, humans are always present, interacting with the whales closely, face to face, skin to skin, and forming very close relationships with them. There may have been a time when the training of whales for shows was done by negative punishment, to withhold food until they did what the trainer wanted. But that time is long gone. The animals are instead trained with positive reinforcement, which means a reward for a job well done, and nothing if they don't do the requested behavior. For some people ignorant of animal training, this might seem like the same thing, but that's a misunderstanding. Positive reinforcement means, if you do this, you'll get something you like, and if you don't, nothing will happen. You'll still get all your meals later, but nothing fun will happen now. Negative punishment, meanwhile, means, do this, I won't feed you until you do. See the difference? In animal training, there are primary and secondary reinforcers. Primary reinforcers are simply food, like throwing a whale a bucket of fish or giving a dog or parrot a treat. Secondary reinforcers are anything else that particular individual finds reinforcing, like toys, touch, jello, ice, snowballs, or just a trainer being very happy and giving the whale a little show back.
There you go. Look.
That's orchid right there.
There's orchid. Let me get out of the way.
Oh, what do you think, Robin? Think they have fun?
I don't know. They really don't look like they're enjoying this very much, do they? You guys did a great job. Awesome.
Every single one of SeaWorld's whales has profiles written on them, clearly instructing the trainers on what each individual finds reinforcing and what they don't.
And Kayla just loves to be squeezed. You can just squeeze her as hard as you want. Yeah, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Also, you simply cannot motivate a killer whale by food alone. They can go without food for a long time, even starve for weeks unfazed. The main reason the whales do the behaviors they are asked for is because they have a very positive relationship with their trainers. The whales go into the shows not because they are starved or forced, but because they want to. All about it is positive to them. They will engage with the trainers they have close relationships with, they get rewarded, and at least some of the whales also seem to enjoy the attention from the crowds. It is also a very enriching part of any intelligent animal's life to feel like they can accomplish things and have a job to do. As for the people who work with them, we can't speak for the corporate part of SeaWorld and other parks, but the trainers, the people who work with them every day and sacrifice a great deal of their personal lives to devote their time to the whales, are true animal lovers. There is no way they would work there if they weren't, as it is very hard work with a very low salary. These people spend more time with their animals than they do with their own family, and that is the reason some trainers quit, because they can't let their family suffer for the sake of their passion. Some other trainers quit because in most cases, you can't feed a family on an animal trainer's salary. You'll never get rich from this career. The trainers are there because they truly care about and love the animals. They know the individual animals better than anyone else can ever hope to, and work tirelessly every day to make their lives as good as possible.
The relationship between the trainers and killer whales may be a strong one now, but it didn't start out that way.
Our philosophy started 28 years ago when we started working with these animals, and really we weren't doing the best training.
You know, it wasn't like there was any school you could go to learn how to train marine mammals. There wasn't.
They didn't like us, they didn't really interact with us well, and we really had to change the way we worked with animals. We weren't in the water with them when we first worked with them, and then somebody said, hey, let's actually get in the water with these animals.
You know, the first time you jump in the water with a killer whale that weighs 6,000 pounds, it's pretty intimidating. You know, you get in the water with them, and they look a lot bigger right next to them in the water than they do when you're looking at them from the stadium, you know, when you're watching them from a show. They look pretty big then, but when you get right in the water with them, right up next to them, it's pretty intimidating. And if the animal picks up that you're afraid, they'll push on you or they'll open their mouth to see what you're going to do.
They decided things needed to change.
We had to really change the way we worked with these animals, the way we interacted with them. Our whole training process turned into positive reinforcement. What it simply means is just encouraging them all the time. There's really no wrong. It's making sure that they understand what is right and highly reinforcing them when they achieve it.
Ultimately, the relationships are based on trust. They're based on our positive reinforcement. They're based on fun. And really, the truth of the matter is, they're based on your heart. And they're based on you giving your love and your care to these animals on a daily basis.
These animals thrive in these nurturing environments where we're always hugging them and loving them and telling them that they're doing really well.
The end result? A training philosophy based on mutual love and respect. Because whales, like humans, need emotional nourishment too.
That animal needs more than fish. We work with these animals after they're full, after they've had a couple 100 pounds in them. They could care less about having another fish. If I ask you to wash my car for me, and I'll buy you a steak dinner, if you're really hungry, that's a good deal. You'll probably wash my car to get that steak dinner. But if you've just had a steak dinner and I ask you to wash my car, you're not going to want to do it. If they're not hungry, we have to have other things that they want from us, and it's all about relationship. It's all about developing a strong bond.
Once that bond forms, it truly takes on a life of its own. Oftentimes, a trainer will even define their career around their relationship with the whales.
Well, who bases their career on, you know, they're not going to leave their job because their friend is at the job, let alone an animal? It's a lifestyle to be a trainer. When you talk to these people, the whales are their extended family. As close as anybody is here or listening to their dog, and people are close, and I'm close to my dog, it doesn't compare to what these trainers feel about their whales.
I've spent 21 years of my life with killer whales, with my family here. I say quite often I have 2 kids in school and I have 10 in the pool. We all love all the whales, but there's always that one. And for me, there's one that she's it for me. Her name is Katina. She's actually a grandma. She started it all back in 1985. She had the first baby born in 85, and that was under our care. And I love her like a person. I feel that she's taught me how to be a better mom, a better wife, a better friend, just a better human being. It's been truly the greatest gift I could ever have.
You don't know what's going to really happen in these moments, because the whale can choose not to do our perfect show, but do his perfect show.
And we have to do this without the whales getting bored, because they could care less whether they're hitting the timing right. You know, we're the ones that have to worry about that. So we have to teach the whales to have fun while they're doing it. And then in the shows, they have to continue to have fun. And that's why the relationship has to be so strong between each individual trainer, because that animal has to want to do it. We can't make a killer whale do anything. If they don't want to do it, they don't do it.
You can't force an animal this big to do anything at all. Absolutely nothing. If he doesn't want to work, he won't, period. How do you force an animal like this to do anything? You can't. It's done with affection, with time and patience.
I love this whale because she's a gift to me.
She's mooing at you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Why are you crying?
I've been with this whale since I was 18 years old, and I've seen her have all 4 of her babies. We've grown up together. We've grown up together, and she will always be the baby Shamu for me. And she's been some of the happiest memories, thoughts, times of my whole life, so.
She loves you too.
She's the best.